and welcome back to part 3 of my In the Bucket series, where I am currently making blueberry mead, and today is bottling day! Yep, that's right. I'm going to take you through the process of sanitizing, cleaning, and hooking up the spigot and the buoy to the automatic siphon, and we will fill up some bottles and cap them. And yes, I will be using a beer kit because I've had that for about 5 years now and all the stuff is still good and usable. So let's get started. So before we start any of this, we need to make sure that we sanitize and wash and clean all our parts. That means the tubing, the bottles, the bottle caps, the siphon, and anything else that's going to be coming in contact with our mead. So let's get that started. I'm gonna start heating up the water, and since you already know the process of getting the sanitizer ready, let's start there and I'll show you all the bottles that I have to sanitize. So as you can see, I got my mead out on the countertop. As you can see, it's ready to go. So as you can see, I have this out on the countertop. We're actually going to be putting this against the ledge like we did when we drained it out, so we could rinse out this and put it back in. All the sediments at the bottom, so the spigot should be okay to run. For tool-wise, this is my tubing, vinyl tubing. I'm going to sanitize inside and outside. This is the auto siphon I have. Basically, you push it down and whoop, it fills it up. What we're gonna have to do is heat this up in some warm water and cut the tubing off. There we go. Cut the tubing off and reconnect it and do the same thing to put it on because it is stuck and I don't want to break my tube. Next, the very important thing are bottle caps. Those will get soaked in sanitizer as well. This is the capper tool. I'll show you how to use that. And the most important thing is, not a sponsor, our beer bottles or our storage containers. This kit I've actually made the beer out of. It was a Christmas present about 5 years ago, and it was actually a really fun brewing kit. It makes, of course, 1 gallon of beer, but as you can see, I'm able to reuse all the parts, and I'm going to make, well, mead. Yeah, let's get to sanitizing. So for this next part where I sanitize the bottles, I'm actually using knowledge that I have from canning, and I set up a cookie tray with a towel on it. From there, what I'm going to do is take a funnel and put it inside each bottle, fill it with sanitizer, rinse it around, and then pour it out. And then I can put my bottles here and transport them to wherever I need to take them. From here to the countertop once they've been sanitized, and then I can put them here to transfer wherever I need to put them so they sit in a dark place for a little while and continue to age. Once I have everything set up, I will probably just run through it since I've already talked to you about it here. And in case anyone's wondering, this is what we called our beer solstice batch because we ended up doing it on winter solstice. I have my sanitizer in there. Let me just sanitize my scoop a moment. Okay, now I'm gonna take this, just kind of pour that in there, and look, I'm going to set this on the counter, and next I'm going to sanitize all the bottles. So I'm just going to take this and pour sanitizer in the bottles. Now, I'm going to try and take this, and we want to sanitize this as well. Try to pour a little bit in there. And because it's an auto siphon, I'm just pushing down on the bottom. All the sanitizer is being pushed out. And then I can just flip it over and pour out the rest. I'm also going to try and heat up the end where the plastic vinyl tube is. If I can't soften up that tubing. Try not to break things. Whoop, it's slowly going, it's slowly going. Oh, come on, come on, come on. But now that I've put sanitizer on it, it's really, really slippery, and yay, it's off. Now I can sanitize that one part. This, however is going to get thrown away. And I actually have a clean towel on my countertop. Sanitize that. Just kind of the tubing nice and clean. Is this water hot? Yes, it is. But it's not that bad. And so what I'm going to actually do, since I have it here, I'm going to warm up one end of the tubing and just kind of mush it and mold it over the top of this. And most tubing, you can actually go and buy new tubing. So if you run out, there we go. As you can see, I got the tubing on there and it's joined nicely. And we shouldn't have any leaks because as this cools, the plastic's going to harden, or the vinyl tubing, once cooled off, will basically shrink wrap and go on this tube. And now I'm just going to take the sanitizer, swirl around, and just like that. Let's get the hose on the spigot. Oh, come on. Don't be this way. There we go. Okay. And because I'm kind of smart, I'm going to show you what I did. I kind of put a little drip tray down there. It's just a cookie sheet. Basically to make sure that I don't screw up. Open this up. And I'm going to stick this in here. And I'm going to try not to touch the opening, but it is gravity fed. So let's try and get a better angle. Okay, so hopefully this is a better angle. I'm going to try to make sure I leave like you normally would for a beer bottle, kind of part way up the base of the neck. Okay, don't know if you can see. There we go, kind of. And let me get as many of these as I can filled. And then afterwards, I will show you how we're going to cap them, because this is going to take a while. Okay, so now I've ran into a problem. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This right here is my problem. So I'm going to have to start tilting the container sideways to get the rest out, but I'm also going to have to be careful. There is sediment sitting at the bottom of the container and I don't want to get that in there. So I'm going to have to be very careful when tilting it. And I might have to put a warning label on those bottles that have sediment, because sometimes, like with hazy beers, people have a problem digesting it because of the yeast and it could upset their stomach. And that's why you're actually not supposed to drink the bottom of your beer if it's like an IPA, because the bottom has yeast and it could actually give you bloat. And that's what makes you so gassy sometimes. There's a little fun fact for you. So with tipping the container, I got 10, and that was what's in the last bottle. I'll probably still put a cap on that and put that in the fridge and enjoy that tonight. And then this is what's left in the container. All that's left is the sediment. And with the little juice that is in there, oh, come on. With the little juice that is in there, I'm going to do a Brix reading. And then we're going to add that to our label. So let's get to capping these. So capping is going to be pretty easy. I already soaked these in sanitizer, washed my hands. But the way this thing works is it has a magnet in it. And you just go like that. Take your first beer bottle, place it like so. So you can see it's on there really well. And then just take this and make sure it's not crooked on there. It's got a really tough spring. Sorry. And look, all done. You just pop it off when it's ready. Because it's got a magnet in there. Just go straight out. So now, let's cap the rest. It's like really strong, and I'm afraid it's gonna go pew, shooting across. So if I seem a little hesitant, that is why. Okay. There it goes. And now my magnet has fallen out. Okay, well, note to self, the magnet does fall out. So when we come back, I'll show you them all capped, and we'll get one last read on the alcohol content, and then we'll put some labels on these guys. Let's get to figuring out what our ABV is. See if it's changed any. I've already calibrated it, so I'm not too worried. And then we'll do some mathing. I need a pan. Got 9 on the bricks. So bricks 1.035. 1.035. And after we're done labeling these, we'll get the ABV on there once we've calculated it. So just to kind of make this easier, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to put blueberry mead for my labels. I'm also going to do the date, and then I'll also do the ABV percentage. That way everyone knows what it is when they go to grab it. But I mean, just a simple label maker. I had already made a couple of these ahead of time. So I've made 6, so I need another 4. So I'll get those printed out and we'll stick them on. And I'll figure out the ABV. So I just calculated the ABV, and I'm glad I did another reading because the alcohol volume actually went up. Originally, when we tested it last time, about 2 months ago, it was at 7.6%. Now it's at 7.875. So we're looking at about 7.9%, 7.8% alcohol. So it's really important that during each step of the way that you are constantly checking and making sure things are continuing to go correctly. Otherwise, you might just end up with vinegar. So now I'm going to actually finish printing out the labels with the ABV percentage on them, and we'll get to labeling. Ta-da! There's all 10 bottles. They're all labeled with the ABV, what it was, and when I started it. From May 11th to August 2nd, that's not bad. So now that we have all that done, let's give the other stuff, the other bottle that isn't full, a try, and then we'll chill it and try it again later. Because it's way too dang nice to not enjoy this outside. As you can see, I only put a little bit in a glass because I actually want to save the rest for this evening when it's cooled down and nice and chilled. Because it's just so nice to sit on the front porch or your back porch or whatever porch you have and enjoy a good drink. So let's try this out. First, I'm gonna smell it and then we'll try it. You can tell it's a fruit. You might not be able to exactly tell what it is just by looking at it. You know it's a berry. But it smells sweet, not syrupy like some meads can. It definitely tastes different than the last time we tried it. I wonder if it's because there wasn't as much sediment. The aftertaste isn't bad. It's definitely different. It's not tangy, it's not tart, it doesn't, It's not bad. It's really nice. It's smooth. It does have a little bit of a burn as it's in your mouth, but it's not horrible. It's actually quite good. Definitely gonna try it chilled and see what happens. But if I don't film that part because it's late and I'll probably be in my pajama pants and relaxing for the day, if I don't see you or film this part tonight, just remember, See you next time in the bucket. Okay, so I am back. I said that if I remembered, I would do this. So this is a chilled blueberry mead. It smells just like the blueberry mead from earlier. Yum, yum, yum. It's really smooth and it tastes absolutely like I'm drinking blueberries, but with just a little bit of hint that it's not quite blueberry juice. And honestly, I think that's the best way to go. So, cheers. Duck, duck. Not me bumping the camera pod, it's this thing. This is Duck, duck. Look,